Oh my goodness.
No, don't worry. This is a way that people miss it and you can share with your friends later on.
There have been various, I see Margaret in the audience. She was once, and she's going to read tonight in the open mic, but she was once a regular member of our group, Elaine James, you know. So anyway, we've morphed a little bit over the years, but writing and sharing poetry is our main purpose. So with that, and we are so grateful to the Larkspur Library because they've hosted us from the very beginning, and many of you have attended those wonderful gatherings with the library ambiance and the suites and all of that. So hopefully next year in Jerusalem, right? Next year at the Larkspur Library. Okay, I will begin with a poem, Unrehearsed. I'm starting with Ginny Green, Summer Girl. Most every girl has had a Ginny Green in her life. Ginny Green from Toronto with lioness green eyes. Ginny, a stylish duck's ass haircut. Her skin tanned even and silky smooth. Summer Girl stretched out on the beach in her two-piece suit. Her parents on the cottage deck sipping martinis. When I went down the beach, it was with brothers and sister in tow. I didn't mind. I had an allowance for it, and we loved summer. My red swimsuit, rather baggy in hindsight. Of course, at 13, there has to be a guy. That summer, it was Murray from New York. Murray, who tended his uncle's gallery that opened onto our beach. I used my allowance for a pair of chinos at Lewis's New York store. Chinos with side pockets at the hips, small pearl buttons to accent. I loved how they fit, like Annette Funicello. I was sure they would catch Murray's eye. Ginny saw me in my chinos and asked to try them on. They were stunning on her. She filled them in a way I couldn't. For a moment, she's standing there in my new pants. I thought I was Ginny or she was me. Can I buy these from you, she asked. I couldn't say no to Ginny Green from Toronto. When I saw her the next week on the beach, making out with Murray from New York, cuddled up to him in my cool chino pants, I feared that was as close to my dreams as I was going to get. The next poem is, I'm going to read one that's sort of in the same vein. The Summer of 48. I am 5. We just moved from the place across from Cookie's Tap. I know everyone at Cookie's. It's my father's hangout. It was like our living room. Friday, Cook owns Cookie's. His handsome sons, Joe and Wilbur, work for him. 5 is good. My parents have rented a cottage on the beach behind Mr. Jamussi's luncheonette. I can jump off the back deck right onto the beach. Fifi is my new babysitter. She's 18 and Joe Cook's sweetheart. Fifi and Joe teach me to dog paddle. I discard my orange life jacket. I love being 5. Joe Cook likes to joke around with me. He says, when you grow up, will you marry me? I say yes, and I'm thrilled to know who I will marry. Though he's dating Fifi, and I'm not sure how she'll take it. My family does not kiss on the lips, but Joe's family does. He has kissed me quickly on the lips in front of everyone at Cookie's. Our marriage plans must not be a secret. In September, I'm dumbstruck when Fifi and Joe announced they're getting married. I turned 6. Simple grace. A certain neglectfulness has come around of late. I take it not as age-related. I take it not as fate. These dangling shoelaces, scraggly hair, holes in clothes, unswept streets and sidewalks in such disrepair. I only want to curl into you, your back against my front the way we do. Feel our curves adjust in acknowledgement to 30 years of our bodies taking shape, recurving. Allowance, the most important of our moves, always making allowance, one for the other, the simple grace of that. Et le prochain. Years in a garden of delight. She emerges from thistles, all thorn-torn and bedraggled. A moonlit smile shines through smudges of dirt, rich worm-tunneled dirt spread across her face. Delicate petals fall from her tangled hair, and the scent of sweet briar rose fills the air. He stands before her with open arms. Then finger bent, he slowly travels a trail in her weathered skin, from chin to forehead, tracing creases of their coupled years. She whispers against his gentle hand, "If ever we are buried, my love, let it be together, covered deep with this cool, dark soil we know so well." And I'm just going to close with a little short one, which is half a winter moon cradled in the bough of the leafless cherry tree. Oh, what a night to be held. Thank you. Thank you. You know what happens.
Who was going to go next, Gabby?
Oh, so I'm sorry. So let's see. Let's go alphabetically. We'll go by Laurel Feigenbaum.
Okay.
I gotta get myself out of the main.
I think we accidentally turned your camera off. Miss Laurel, if you could turn your camera back on.
Want me to unmute?
Yeah, you unmute yourself and then hopefully turn your camera back on so we can see you. Oh no. There she is. That's to unmute.
Unmute.
Okay, there you go. You're unmuted, and then you want to start your video.
Should you want me to start reading, or are you
No,
good?
no, start your video so everybody can see you.
What?
Your video.
What about it?
There we
There
go.
you
There we
go.
go.
There you go.
What the hell was it? All right, I'm just going to start reading.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Aha, there you go. Okay. This is called Spending a Morning with a Tree. Outside my window, a tree taller, stronger, bark more gnarled, wrinkled than I may be. Not one to jump out of bed all spit and fire. I linger longer to contemplate the tree. Friend of man and dog, partners sharing earth, grateful for oxygen they exhale, pollutants they inhale. Home to birds, beetles, acorn edibles for chipmunks and squirrels. Silent and bare branched, a green moss patch wedged between sturdy limbs. The hole drilled by drumming of a woodpecker, deep enough to satisfy its long tongue in this hot box of nature and nurture amidst the seeming calm. Okay. And here we have a little romance, since it's Valentine's. And this is romance at Corte Madera Creek. Sitting on a bench at low tide, a familiar honking draws me away from a flock of widgeons, blue-billed scaups, a diving bufflehead, to a pair of Canada geese. I had seen flocks of geese in fields, on water, or flying in formation. But here were two standing, upright, eye to eye, feathers silky, lustrous. I'd never thought them elegant or even interesting. Like soulmates, synchronized, graceful as swans in ritual dance of head and neck, pulled up and back, then bills dipped forward into water, raised and repeated till they forage in shallows for sedge, seed, or marshweed. Returning home at dusk, I close my eyes, listen to Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, and see a pas de deux of geese in tutu, on point, pirouette, filet, amidst swans in the court of ballet. And this is called Gratitude Defined. And there is a little epigraph which precedes it with the following. Piglet noticed, even though he had a very small heart, it could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. This is A.A. Mill. Gratitude defined. Reciprocal relationships among primates. Thank you for sharing. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Chimpanzees grateful for grooming by another, share food. A chimp hugs a caretaker for bringing him in out of the rain. Bats vomit blood for brothers who miss a meal. A fisherman lives alone on an island, rescues an oil-soaked penguin who returns after each breeding season to be with him, finds him on the beach and follows him home. Ludmilla applies for citizenship, studies civics with reverence. Her accented voice carries the weight of each guiding principle and wonder of newfound freedom. All men are created equal with inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Gratitude writ large and small. I'm grateful for Oreos and ears of sweet corn, for the dentist who reports my mouth free of cancer, my teeth holding their own, for the ring that still hugs my third finger left hand, for FaceTime with a great-grandchild, lunch with a grown grandson, roses that bloom in my garden. And though I may have a bad day, an hour on the phone with Comcast, mourn my husband, old friends, it's my life, a good life still. And now where are we? Okay. Well, this is called Facts of Life. My great-grandchildren will soon be of questioning age. Little Ollie, not quite 3, asks where 5-year-old Sissy's penis hides. Her idea is that hospitals deliver babies. My son, when he was young, asked if it was fun. Sitting in my garden watching a snail, I wonder how it reproduces. As a hermaphrodite, free to self-fertilize, just a semen-filled dart to the head, and snail eggs are off and running. Lizards that slither are another matter. They waste no time with darts, able to clone themselves completely. They don't know what they're missing. And finally, I can find it here. Things disappear. Oh, here. This is a little offbeat. And I'm closing with it. It's called Unsolicited. I can't tell you how many persons want to sleep with me tonight, or any night, gender elusive. Lily, a sexy Asian, vies for my affection with Sylvia, a bold, hot Russian. Russian girls Exclamation point. No text, just a row of emojis, red hearts and puckered lips. Rosa, hi, sent you my naked picture. This is not a typical dating website. No kidding. Victoria, fed up with fake dating. Am I your dream love, love beyond distance? Keep it that way. Browse pics of singles in your area, match.com. All this within weeks of my sweet husband's passing. Hurry up, Laurel. Online dating is worth your time. Your new sweetheart is waiting. Screw you, whoever you are. We have swans. Wow, these women are perfect matches. eHarmony. And then there are free trials. Penis enlargement. Better sex with Videx. That's the last thing I need. Let the world wrestle with big issues. Russia, China, cybersecurity. I wrestle with my junk mail and how I got on these lists, all the while keeping laughter and delete in working order. Thank you. And thank you all for coming and listening and supporting us and the library.
Great. Now what?
So Ella is our next reader,
Okay.
and I don't know if I'm heard.
Am I up there? Oh, yes, I am. Okay.
There you go.
Well,
Ella Eytan.
hello, everybody. I made it on with great difficulty. Anyway, my first poem is called Romancing the Brush. It was a summer of my romance with the artist and with his paintings, which were enormous, no subject, all predicate, adjectives colliding in a puddle of greens, magentas, and blues. We careened through museums mad for de Kooning and Pollock, the splashed at dripped on expressions of now. I watched him turn a blank canvas to colors that vibrated each other. Thrilled by the idea of creation, I didn't see how he wanted me primed and ready, object to his verb. Later, I discovered mixing hues opposite on the color wheel created shadow, how I could lay down pigment as raw, primary or raw as any abstract expressionist, how doing it for myself without modifiers would open for me the world. All kinds of love there is. But this poem is first time. Lost in the noise of everydayness is that first love, first kiss, first time for anything really, the unbearable sweetness of it, the culmination of our fears and hopes, a new reality reaching into the future, the terrifying beauty of what could be. Love poem. A canopy of sycamores touch overhead, skewed limbs reaching skyward as if in supplication. In summer, enormous leaves flapping, you can believe, but autumn shuts down the fountains, a flare of yellow nips set green and everything slips to earth, slumber, the dark umber of the soul. I can never love you enough. And love is not always easy. This one is called Hard Moons. Your voice can fall sharp as hail or mellow as bass notes in a Bach cantata, lifting the ordinary to power. I listen to the silence between us, desperate to understand why we pick at the dead bones of why did you, or if only, that we know will lead us astray. Something dark skulks in the corners of our rooms. Perhaps it has been there through all time. Beyond us, our world, hard stone spinning through blackest space. Come to me now and again now. Turn the hard moon of your body to mine, dark side to dark. Let the little light fall where it will. Well, love is difficult. The way I know you differs day to day, depending on sun or rain or how well I've slept. It's about which parts of you will I let in, which parts I keep out. It's about the accumulation of months and years, sum of pluses, the minuses that weigh heavy each day. Face it, the way I know you is like the way clouds form and reform across the arc of sky, or how rivers rise after a rain, then gradually drain. And my last one is luminescence. Another different kind of love. Tonight, the pool is an opal cradled in jet. House, hill, garden, unencumbered by detail. Darkness unlayers scent of leaves, datura, damp earth. Fog slick branches reflect moonlight. Stones unnoticed in day's extravagance shine. Age slows everything, opening me to the ordinary, the overlooked. No sarcasm or hate here, just connection, which is love, the only thing large enough to go like this. And that's my last poem. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Franklin, are you announcing Melanie?
Yeah, I just asked her to unmute and then we're gonna move her to the spotlight.
Okay,
There we go.
Oh, there's Angelika.
that's Angelika, not Melanie.
Wrong one.
There we
There
go.
you go, Melanie.
Thank you. These poems are for my husband, Peter. Night. My husband sleeps deeply. I lie next to him, watch his chest move with each breath. Things change, but not this. Sometimes he laughs and speaks whole sentences while he dreams. One night at dinner, he said, "I'm getting old." I said, "No, not you." He stopped talking and made me turn to look out our window, made us take time for the rising moon. Reflections 2020. An unreasonably warm October 31st, week 31 of the pandemic, 4 long days before the contentious election. Fortunate living next to a lagoon with lots of outdoor space, space to watch great blue heron, long-necked egrets, geese, ducks, and pelicans land. A place to watch an occasional monarch flutter by. Watch my husband, cane in hand, pick apples from our sole fruit tree. This, its last crop of the season. On the dock, our small white dog sits sentinel, ready to bark away swimmers, boaters, and birds. I cherish these quiet moments. My husband, our dog, the beauty of water. At water's edge, we drive across the Bay Bridge, 1963, on our way to dine and dance. He says, "I know a joke on any subject." I say, "Mermaid?" He, definition of a mermaid, too much fish to eat, not enough woman to love. A wicked sense of humor, a smooth dancer opens doors for me, and such a generous heart. I fall fast. I'm 20, he's 34. During a time when problems plague us, I dream we walk arms linked at water's edge on a white sand beach. The Sunday I'm to leave for a poetry retreat, 2020. He gives me a long kiss and warm hug, says, "These days I feel insecure without you." He tells me his dream the night of my return. I come to him and say, "I'm going to live in the wild, somewhere no one needs money, at the bottom of a mountain beside a lake." He sees the spot. It looks like a fairyland full of strangers. Put my arms around him and I say, Love it right here. Heart failure. I relax eating duck pancakes with a friend of 60 years between two tall metal heaters at a restaurant's outside table adjacent to a heavily trafficked street in Venice, California. On San Francisco's Baker Street, where I grew up, a coyote closely follows the woman walking her dog. My husband of 58 years, slowly shrinking, no longer himself. My time in Venice, a short respite from distress. Weeks ago over lunch in our dining room, we watch a blue heron atop our birch tree, neck stretched to look out over the lagoon, then preening beak between feathers. In Priest Point Park, Olympia, Washington, a family of 4 called their deceased 4-year-old Joelle on a rotary phone, attached to a tree, though connected to nothing. They come often to chat, talk to her, if only for a short time, which soothes their collective grief. And in Japan, on a mountain slope, mourners come to a telephone booth connected to nothing. Nashingu, they speak to their lost loved ones. In Georgia, 3 white men accused of murdering Ahmaud Arbery, a lone Black man out for a run, when they cornered him with a shotgun, were found guilty. In my otherwise bleak day, as I take my husband to the ER at UCSF, then admitted to the hospital, his doctors discuss and tweak treatment. 3 weeks later, we lose him as he rests comfortably at home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, the library, the Larkspur Wonderful Library, for doing this year after year with us.
Always a pleasure, ladies. So Angelika's up next, yes?
And now it's Angelika. Angelika
Yes.
Quirk, the next reader.
Oh, I'm here. Okay.
There you are.
All right. My first poem is called Dance Me to the Dusk of Time. Dance me through the apple orchard, ripe and plump and ready to be plugged. Fling me through the fields of flowers, yellow mustard, buttercups. And when your palm touches mine, let our lifelines merge. Dance me to the dusk of time. Let me touch your inside seams, stitch together words of praise. Let me teach you how to soar from the first kiss to the last note. Dream of me as a yellow star, hang my portrait on your wall. Dance me to the riverbank, toss my image into the sand. Sway me to your ancient song, sing to me in your foreign tongue. Collect the echoes from my hall, listen to my voice, my harp. Dance me to the birth of time, bloody skies, infant cries. Rock me to the freedom chorus, to the oaths of longings. Lift me like a red-tailed hawk, high above the ring of fire. Dance me to the dusk of it all. Dance me through the apple orchard, ripe and full and ready to be plugged. Dance me through the fields of flowers, yellow mustard, buttercups. And when your palm touches mine, let our lifelines merge. Dance me to the dusk of time. I was inspired by Cohen with this poem. My next poem is of serious nature. It comes in 5 parts. Love Vignettes. 1. In a city of foghorns and cobblestones, we sat in the meadow under the elm. Amid yellow buttercups and clover, he unbuttoned my blouse. I didn't mind. Reciting Rilke, Orpheus singt und alles schwieg, our lips moved in the belief of clouds and abandonment. 2. My grandfather lived in the house of the dying, pinching a nurse, spilling his past, while his common law wife of 30 years darned socks in their home, where they had raised chickens and laughter on their balcony. 3. He kissed me behind each earlobe and taught me the ritual of happiness. And at dusk, we waited for Polaris, our voices syncopated melodies of the night. 4. Tante Elsa wrote letters to Offizier Genens and sang songs from Schubert's Winterreise before she disappeared, before her belongings were mailed from a place where black smoke rose to an impermanent sky. 5. Today I cooked his favorite meal, Rindsrouladen, and spoon-fed him words of contentment. No headlines, no rumors, no whining pain. I stroked his forehead, surveyed his mouth, the radiance in his eyes, and I relinquished all fear of tomorrow's call. My next poem is called He Was a Musician. On one side, the flat moon, on the other side, my dream. Then I awakened with Apollo Mussaget. I cradled his harp, his song, the foreplay of the breeze. His hand holding a baton that led me on, his metronome, the rhythm of his heart. My skin no longer blue, but full of apple blossoms. I willingly opened my lips, inhaling his high C. My fingers grew into hydrangeas, my hair bloomed. And my last poem is actually my husband, who's sitting right on the sofa here, Mike. He wrote it to me when we met, and I have the lyrics. I was looking for the music part, but anyway, these are the lyrics he wrote. I thought love had gone away forever, leaving me with just a bitter taste. I thought love was only for the foolish, something to get rid of post-haste. I thought love had lost all useful meaning, just a word when seen within a line. I thought love was swept beneath the covers, something just for lovers, not mine. Then you came along and touched me, tearing down my cynical facade. When I asked myself what recently really mattered, torn and tattered, I thought love. I thought love an antiquated notion, quainter than the hourglass of time. I thought love perpetual full motion, something without reason or rhyme. I thought love was only an illusion, leaving traces scattered in the night. I thought love the source of all confusion, something out of kilter, not right. Then you came along and touched me, tearing down my cynical facade. When I asked myself what really mattered, torn and tattered, I thought love. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Okay, that is it. Thank you for everybody coming. I was the last, is that right?
You were.
Yeah.
Before we transition, Franklin, into the open mic for the other anyone who wants to read, and I'm assuming you figured out a way to figure out who those people are. But I want to thank the library for hosting this, and I also, the awkwardness for me of the Zoom thing. I really, one, I wasn't prepared to read first. I thought we were going to go alphabetically and I was going to be last. So I was thrown off kilter. But also, I didn't get to transition between each reader. And in particular, I want to acknowledge Melanie and her poems, as she very recently lost her husband. And they were very touching and moving. And I want to just thank you. And I want to honor Peter, who couldn't be here for this is the first year he wasn't able to join the reading. So I know many of you have lost a close one, a spouse or whatever, and this love is about all kinds of love, and that's one of the phases of love, and that's one of the phases. But I just wanted to give particular hugs to that one. And Franklin, how are you going to tell who the...
Well, if you would like to read, if you want to put your name in the chat box, and I'll start going down the list of people who want to read. So we welcome you to share a love poem, a song. So Doreen's first. So
Who do we have?
yeah, we got one person first. So Doreen's going to come first. I got to spotlight her.
I just got the pre-copy of my latest book, and I'm going to read something from it.
Beautiful looking.
It's called Man Dreaming. I was asleep, but my heart was awake from the Song of Songs. Fully clothed, pillowed head facing a TV talk show, Calle Libertad sounding at the window. He drowses. I touch his arm, say, "Are you asleep?" No, it's okay. And then we're walking toward the Alexander Bridge, no less. One of the most beautiful river crossings in the world, heart of Paris, sumptuous, with lions, cherubs, nymphs, cupids, water spirits, fish, seashells, sea monsters. When this man dreams, he dreams big. Turns to me. We're not far from Shakespeare and Company. We could go in there. And then you woke up? You were so lucky, I say, meaning so lucky to have dreamt we were in Paris together. Lucky, he laughs. Yes, every day we wake up, still here, we are lucky. We can go to the refrigerator, take a shower, lucky. Just like that, he leaves me in Paris.
Nice.
Up next is Leta.
Hello.
Nope.
Great.
Hi.
Thank you so much for that. Hello, Angelika, and thank you all for creating this wonderful opportunity. And so I'll read my Valentine poem. The title is Sugar. My desk is dull. This poem looks stupid, and I'm flat out of wonder at the shine of creation. So I get up and go to the kitchen to eat some sugar cookies, to get some sparkle into my life. Then in comes my husband wearing his garden work shirt, and damn it, look, his buttons flash like silver smiles, and I give him a cookie with the hand that wears a wedding band of old world gold and set with diamonds all around. Oh, diamonds shining all around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is Margaret, and she's going to read a poem for Barbara Brooks and for and then one of her own. So
I guess I'm unmuted now, yes?
yes.
Okay. Well, I want to read this first poem. It was written by Barbara Brooks, who is in attendance. And I think this poem is absolutely amazing. Barbara also is very instrumental in the poetry community, served for many years on the board of Marin Poetry Center, and is a wonderful supporter of poetry. I can't say enough good things about her. Her poem is called Tattoos. Tattoos by Barbara Welch Brooks. What is written on those youthful bodies? Frivolity and colored inks, symbols of identity, Roses and hibiscus, serpents, floral vines, twisting up from ankles, blue tattoos. What is written on my body, invisibly inked? Hundreds of tattoos, storylines traced and marked by lovers, young and old, by lips and fingers, fiery kisses, foreign tongues. You've all rubbed off on me. Here a blessing, there a wound. And I remember. What remains? Lifelines of wandering, desire, fulfillment. Tattoos of aging visible upon a well-worn but vibrant skin, stretched to hold a universe inside.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'll read one of my poems, and this one is called The Repair. The fact was, my fence was rotting from within, invisibly, deceptive as an engineered apple, solid on the surface, mushy at the core. The price of wood soared in COVID. It took a pandemic for people to love their homes, to make repairs, to realize they needed a new one, for me to fix my fence. Before, I hadn't been home enough to notice much. I went to work, I earned what I could, while my fence silently fell apart, to feed insects, enrich the earth, to house wise ant dynasties that will survive me. Once, I lived with the man who fixes my fence, loved him while the fence decayed. At the time, we didn't see. I didn't want to see. I don't know how love decomposes, recomposes. I only know we carry it inside, a tiny light that might spark our carbon to illuminate future ant empires. And this man, now my friend, rebuilds a sturdy fence. His price is fair. He gives himself over to the labor, cuts the wood, fastens the boards precisely, all holds tightly. I pay him for his labors, say thank you. I close the gate as he leaves. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So up next is Susan Terrace.
Okay.
How good. Oh,
You
you're
need to unmute.
unmute.
She's
Unmute.
unmuted, so I'm not sure why the sound's not coming through. Susan, could you?
Unmute.
I think she's frozen.
No, she's not
No,
frozen.
she's
I can
moving.
see her moving. But your
not
sound's not
unmuting.
coming through, Susan. So
Can you help her unmute?
yeah, well, she is unmuted, so it's just something her microphone's not picking her up.
Huh.
Oh, it's odd.
Oh, that's
no.
a shame.
So we'll come back to you, Susan, in a minute, okay? Can you hear us okay, or?
No.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. So, but let me go. We're going to skip, but we'll come back to you, Susan, in a minute. So we're going to figure out what's going on. So let's go to Catharine. Catharine Clark-Sayles.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Spotlight, just to unmute.
Oh, we can't hear her either.
Either.
Catharine, you need to unmute yourself. Minor details.
So that was me.
There you go.
Sorry about that. So this is from last summer. Forecast for heat and riot. 91 today. Basil droops, revised with sprinkles from the hose. Pizza and pesto essence floats with bees, following the promise of mock orange, lavender, and Jean Lavoie to their blossomed reward. Yellow dusted, they bumble back. Visit tomato blossoms on the way. Somehow it all gets sorted and green marbles grow on apple trees, cluster tangles of tomato vines bursting from their cage. This small square of world pulls my bare toes to dig fragrant soil. I imagine roots, turn my face to sun, breathe out the burden of a country caught in flames.
Mm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Susan's logged back in, so we're gonna try Susan again. And
She's muted up top.
yeah, so. Oops. No, wrong Susan.
Another.
Oh, Susan Charlton. That's Susan Charlton.
There we go. And then let me, because you're on 2 devices, right, Susan?
No, I'm on one device. I'm on my.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, good. There we
good.
can hear you now. So good.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the title of this poem comes from a snarky list that Fran Lebowitz once posted in the New York Times. And so it's called All Sweet Nothings Are Nothing. Oh, please, it's the sweet nothings that make a day. The biker who holds a door for you, the clerk at Trader Joe's who checks out the Gibsons on your sweater. Last week, Gung Hei Fat Choi was Chinese New Year, and a little girl in fuchsia sequins, her sash dragging, used chopsticks to drum a tattoo on her chair, as a smaller brother did the same. Today, a person I never saw fed my parking meter and left, held by a wiper blade, one long-stemmed red rose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So up next is Peter Butler, and let me ask you to unmute, Peter, and then
That's me. Can you hear me all?
Yep.
now we can see you. So there you go.
Okay. Here we go. Thank you. Thanks everyone for cultivating this space and attention. This is, I almost want to read it and have you all guess who it is, but this is E. E. Cummings.
Mhm.
I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you, are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud and the sky of the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.
Mm.
Coming.
Thank you. That's wonderful. So up next is Marie Henry.
Thank you.
No, Marie Henry. Huh?
Ah, Marie.
Okay.
Great sound.
So we just need you to unmute yourself, Marie.
I just did.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yes.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, we can hear you now. So.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I wanted to thank everyone, women who write, and everyone else who's read. It's just been an evening of riches. So I have a short little poem called Balancing. He was hanging on to the air with his fingertips. She spun around him like a piece of ice. She was made of the wind. She blew a night of sleep into the hollow of his hand, licking his numb fingers and teaching them to dance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's so good in presenting.
Thank you.
So if anybody else would like to read, here's your chance. Well, again, thank you all for joining us this evening, and thank you for letting us all come to your homes. That's the one thing about Zoom, that everybody gets to get a sneak peek of everybody's lives outside the library. So I am really looking forward to next year. I hope we will all be here in person again. My first event was the Women Who Write here at the library, so I can't wait till we're all back inside the library again. But thank you all for joining us. And then this link, the recording will be up tomorrow. I'll send out a link in an email for everybody who registered, so you can share with your friends.
Oh,
And then
great.
if you missed last year's too, you can find that on our YouTube channel. You can watch that one again too, because there's a lot of beautiful poetry you guys have shared with us. Thank you all for coming. And again, the Women Who Write, thank you all for doing this and keeping poetry alive and in everybody's mind. So thank you. And I guess nobody else wants to read, so I guess I'll see you guys soon. So.
And one of the things that's wonderful is there were so many wonderful poems read tonight, to know that we can go and listen again, because they seem to go by too quickly. So great, we can go to the video and listen. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. So, and you can find last year's, and tomorrow this will be up as well. So again, thank you for everybody who read. Thank you for sharing. For the Women Who Write, again, thank you for opening up your hearts to us and showing us the beautiful things that you have written. So, and I look forward to next year, and I hopefully we'll all see each other in person in the library again. So be well, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys next year. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Everyone.
You're welcome. You guys all have a great evening. So I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.